Hi everyone. If you've been following K-culture at all right now, the huge trend, because we are in the full peak of springtime, is something called BomDong bibimbap. Now, I'm sure most of you guys have tried bibimbap once or twice in your life, maybe even tried making it. Well, the thing about bibimbap is that it's very labor intensive. And so I think the reason why BomDong bibimbap is going totally viral is because it's so quick and it's delicious. It has that bibimbap taste that you love, and it only uses really one vegetable. You don't have to prepare like 10 different kinds of little vegetables, right? BomDong, what is BomDong? It's basically Korean spring cabbage. It's a cabbage, we say, that's lazy. They're so lazy that they're not like, the leaves are not like clamped together and furled upright, but they're kind of like unfurled, right? So it's just like lazily grows. And that is what BomDong looks like. So pretty. The leaves come out really tender to eat, and it's got a real wonderful sweetness to it too. And this is such a wonderful vegetable, so if you can find it, best bet, especially if you're in a metropolitan area, is to try an Asian market, preferably a Korean market, and then sometimes they'll have it. If you don't have it though, there are a couple things that you can replace BomDong with. And I think the closest and the best thing that you can go with for texture and taste is gonna be a young or a baby Napa cabbage. And what they're gonna look like is they're gonna look kind of like this. This is not baby Napa cabbage. This is a different cabbage called winter cabbage or gari. But it looks really similar, and it's got the leafiness like a BomDong, right? And it's got the white stalks that are tender and sweet enough to mimic spring cabbage. You can't find it. So this is kind of what you're looking for. You can't find this, then definitely, no matter where you go, you're gonna be able to find bok choy. And I tried it with bok choy, and surprisingly, it actually is a great substitute, except you don't want to use this part. You want to cut the stalks, right? And then you can just use the stalks. You can stir fry it with garlic and make it a side dish, or you can use it for soup or whatever, but you only want to use about this much of the leaf to really kind of mimic that BomDong or spring cabbage texture, okay? How do you take it apart? You turn it over and take a knife, and you're gonna cut a square around the stem. Pull that out. Pull that out, and everything will be very conveniently separated, okay? So I'm gonna take the typical mixing bowl in Korea, we call it yangpun. This recipe went viral, and it's also in reference to a variety show where a famous comedian had to go like farm and fend for himself, and he just like took a whole thing of BomDong, mixed it up with rice and a fried egg, and then literally ate like this big of a thing all by himself. Went viral. It's going viral again. I'm gonna wash these and I'll be right back. So I actually soaked this in vinegar water for about 10 minutes. Then I rinsed it, patted lightly dry with a paper towel. Now we're going to cut it into nice bite-sized pieces. So I'm just gonna take these big pieces. Now we have little guys like this, and you can just leave that. That's fine. That's a nice bite size. But we're gonna cut the big guys. I'm just gonna kind of cut it maybe into fourths. You want the pieces to be big because they're gonna wilt a lot when you put the sauce on it. And what we're gonna do, basically what BomDong bibimbap is, just to explain it in a nutshell, is we're making spring cabbage 겉절이. I'm sure you've had 겉절이 in some way or shape or form. It's basically like a Korean salad. They serve it a lot as a side dish in restaurants. Oh, it's very easy because it's fresh. We're gonna make the 겉절이, and then that sauce of the 겉절이 is also going to flavor the rice. And all we're gonna do is flavor this, mix it with rice, and then eat it. So, let's chop this up. put that back into a large mixing bowl. Now, the original recipe doesn't do this, but I thought, what could I do to add my own little twist? I thought instead of just using cabbage, I went ahead and bought some other spring vegetables that I like, and I prepared a little bit, and I'm gonna just use it as a topping, just like you know how you sprinkle parsley or basil over pasta. That's what I'm gonna do with other spring vegetables. This is all chopped up. It's called talle, and it's basically kind of a wild chive. But this particular variety only comes out in the spring. And this is the very famous minari, right? Water parsley. You can probably find these at a Korean market as well. But if you don't want to commit to buying the big bunches of water parsley and whatnot, you can always add your own little herbaceous herbs. You know, we can do microgreens or sprouts, maybe a little arugula even, watercress, but you know, in a very small amount. Small judicious amounts depending on how much you like the herbs. So that's what this is for. And then you can't have bibimbap without a fried egg, right? So I got that sunny side up, and please, really, really runny, because the runny yolk, it really becomes a really big part of the bibimbap seasoning. So got that ready as well. So the sauce for gatchari. There's a million variations out there. Everyone's sauce for gatchari or spring salad is a little bit different. So I actually went and tried maybe like 3 or 4 different recipes. And ironically, the sauce that I liked best for just the salad itself didn't lend itself well when it mixed with rice. So I'm picking the one that works the best in the bibimbap. And it's going to be a soy sauce and garlic-based sauce. Super easy, but we have a little learning curve with the Korean ingredients, okay? So, Korean chili flakes, red pepper flakes, not powder, flakes. The red pepper flakes are going to be the base, the foundation of this sauce. It is going to be spicy no matter what, okay? And then we've got soy sauce, very self-explanatory. Toasted sesame seeds will go in at the end. Minced garlic, sesame oil, and the powerhouse umami makers of this sauce, fish sauce. Don't worry, it's not fishy. You're not gonna have a hint of fishiness. Fish sauce really just adds kind of like a savoriness or an umami to the sauce, because something like soy sauce just makes it salty. Now, there's gonna be an overwhelming amount of different fish sauces out there in Korean cooking. We have an anchovy sauce, we have a tuna sauce, there's a few others, right? We make fish sauce out of crabs. I mean, it's just crazy. Koreans love their fish sauce. I found a combination to be the best for this sauce because each fish sauce really does bring something different to the table. Anchovy fish sauce is extremely salty, so it's gonna give you that salty, briny kick without having to use too much soy sauce, right? You only need a little bit. Tuna sauce, this is used a lot in soups because it just gives it that bottom that you need sometimes for the broth. You don't eat it by itself because it tastes kind of gross, but the umami that it brings to the table, I just couldn't give it up. So, typical recipes just use one fish sauce. If you can't commit to a fish sauce from a Korean market, just use Thai fish sauce, any fish sauce, but you gotta use it. I really highly recommend that. And I'm gonna do a half tuna, half anchovy. You can just go with the one if you don't want to commit to buying all these different kinds of things that you might not ever use. So, sesame oil. Let's make the sauce. Got my spoons out. Koreans use just a normal spoon for all their measuring needs. And so maybe if you've looked up other Korean cooking videos, you were very confused because they keep saying half a spoon, a third of a spoon, or 1 spoon. This is the spoon they're talking about. I know a lot of you don't have a spoon like this, and everyone's spoon is different sizes. So I broke it down into very user-friendly tablespoons and teaspoons. So we're going to start with the red pepper flakes. I keep wanting to say it in Korean. We're gonna do 4 tablespoons of this. For my Korean language version of this, I actually only made half the sauce, and it was kind of like a little not enough. So I'm doubling it for you guys. So 1, 2, 3. Korean cooking, a lot of it is not precise. I mean, that's why we use a spoon to measure everything, right? And we're eyeballing things. Okay, we have a 1-to-1 ratio of red pepper flakes with soy sauce. So soy sauce will also do 4 tablespoons. So this plus the garlic is really the flavor base. Now we're gonna do the garlic, 2 tablespoons. Right? And then we're going to do the sesame oil, also 2 tablespoons. We're going to do a combination. You want 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. You can just use fish sauce. I'm gonna half and half it. So I'm gonna do 1 tablespoon of tuna fish sauce and 1 tablespoon of anchovy fish sauce. This is your kick, your umami. And we're gonna just mix that up. Have your roasted sesames ready so that you can sprinkle that over everything when it's done. Okay? So I got plenty of sauce here. It's gonna be too much for how much greens we have, but that's good because maybe you want to add a little bit more to your rice if you feel like, ooh, I love that sauce. So it's good to have a little extra handy. You can serve it on the side with your bibimbap. All right, that's about done. Now our wonderful glove comes into play. We're going to add the sauce and just mix. All right, so you just gently start lovingly applying the sauce to these beautiful cabbage leaves. I'm gonna put in a little more sauce. So far I put in about 3 tablespoons of sauce already, right? It's gonna be over sauce. Don't make gochujang like this. That's a no-no. This is only in context for bibimbap. I mixed it up so that we got really nice coating, and that's it. we're pretty much done. At this point, we're just plating, really. Now I'm going to add lots of sesame. You want to do about 2 tablespoons of this too, right? I just like to sprinkle and eye it. It looks like a lot, right? But you're gonna love it later. Now we're just gonna put the bibimbap together. Now, the rice for the bibimbap, I highly, highly recommend that it's very freshly made rice. It's gotta be nice, piping hot. That way it's soft enough to mix well. Here's the rice like that. I'm actually gonna sauce the rice with sesame oil first. This is gonna be about 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. That helps the rice mix better. Now we're gonna add this. And rice to veggie ratio, really up to you. I didn't even taste it. Yummy. All right, and now I'm gonna take my other spring vegetables. Like I said, the world is your oyster. Just pick what you like. And I'm not incorporating this into the sauce because it will just, the integrity of the veggies, they're just so tender and fragile, will too quickly be lost. So I'm just gonna top it like this, right? And then with the minari, because I don't want to get out my knife and cutting board, I'm just gonna snip small pieces. You don't want these herbs in every bite. It's just too much. But once in a while, you just want to get a little pop of minari. Once every 3-4 bites, so you don't want to go crazy. Right? Maybe add some leaf. Really pretty. And then lastly, I don't have a clean spoon. We're going to top it with egg. And there you go. Isn't that pretty? BomDong, or Korean spring cabbage bibimbap.